Sophie Cunningham owned J.C. Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. She still owns J.C. She still owns J.C. Sheldon. And what's great is she's got a great sense of humor about it, and she's not shy about it. I mean, what are they going to do?
Sophie Cunningham just made a statement in the WNBA, and it came at the expense of JCS Sheldon, the same player who got a little too physical with Caitlin Clark. This wasn't subtle. Sophie showed it on the court, celebrated it with the fans, and then made it permanent with ink. So here's the question. How much do you appreciate Sophie? Share your thoughts below, because for Fever fans, this is exactly the kind of support their star deserves.
This is kind of crazy. This one is kind of crazy. When you get Sophie Cunningham to sign a J.C. Sheldon rookie card with property of, that is crazy. That is crazy. Property of Sophie Cunningham.
Here's the truth most teams don't admit. When Caitlin Clark is your teammate, a sellout crowd magnet, ratings booster, and constant target, you either protect her or stand by while others take cheap shots. Sophie Cunningham chose to protect her, and she did it loud and clear. It all started in that wild game where Marina Mabrey leveled Clark after the whistle like she was trying out for football. But even before that, J.C. Sheldon tested the limits with a hit that had Fever fans wishing the WNBA had a penalty box.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and J.C. Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
Sheldon, already gaining a reputation for accidental bumps that always seemed to find Clark, added another one. But Sophie didn't file it away. She put it on her checklist. Later in the game, Cunningham delivered a clean, solid response, the kind that lets you know there are consequences. It wasn't dirty or reckless. It was simply basketball's way of saying, "We noticed, don't do it again." And Sophie didn't stop there. She carried that same energy even after the final buzzer.
Sophie commits a hard foul on J.C. Sheldon. Again, as J.C. Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm gonna give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional.
Fast forward to a Fever fan event. Sophie was in full community mode, signing programs, posing for photos, and chatting with the diehards who arrive early and cheer until their voices are gone. Then a fan handed her a JCS Sheldon rookie card, not just for an autograph, but for a message. They wanted something more than a name or number, something that captured exactly what everyone in the arena had been feeling.
She's the problem. She is the problem.
Sophie took the card, signed it boldly across the front, and wrote, "Property of Sophie Cunningham." That wasn't just an autograph, it was a statement. The message was simple. If you go after our star, there's a price to pay. It was also a notice to the entire league. Indiana has an enforcer, and she's ready. Sheldon, the warning is official.
Sophie Cunningham would take her rightful place as the Indiana Fever enforcer, and I believe took the first step to her becoming the second most popular player in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham is everywhere. Arby's, walking in. She's the best looking woman walking into these WNBA arenas. I mean, Black Belt Barbie, anybody? Black Belt Barbie.
The clip blew up online. Lexi Hull, sitting beside Sophie, burst out laughing while fans went crazy. It was one of those rare moments that mixed rivalry, humor, and raw competitiveness. The kind that builds a team's culture and a fan base's identity. Nothing staged, nothing forced, just pure Sophie, sharp, funny, and clear about who she represents. And the best part? She didn't walk it back. No, just kidding. No notes app apology. She owned it. That's what you want in an enforcer. Consistency. Every great team has one. Gretzky did, Jordan did, Kobe did, Curry has Draymond. And right now, the WNBA's most watched player has Sophie Cunningham. Protector by choice, shooter by trade, and apparently part-time notary for rival guards.
Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin Clark's biggest cheerleader and defender.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What? When people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as
The sad truth about this video we just watched is she is the first WNBA player I have seen to openly say this out loud, publicly, and not be ashamed in declaring it.
Here's the part that makes this more than just tough guy energy. Sophie isn't some end-of-the-bench player there to rack up fouls. She's producing, and producing big. Since the break, she's been on fire, knocking down threes with confidence and putting up 15, 18, even 20-point nights while others are still warming up. Against Phoenix, when the Fever needed scoring, Sophie dropped 18 while a few teammates looked lost. Being an enforcer is one thing. Being an enforcer who scores efficiently, that's how you win games people actually remember.
Caitlin Clark is the reason we have been talking about the WNBA. Hate it or love it, it's true. I don't believe that Caitlin Clark necessarily wants that title that everyone has been giving to her. I think she just wants to be appreciated. And Sophie Cunningham, she just seems like such a real one, such a good friend. I think especially with women, especially elite level athletes, there's a lot of people, women, who will kind of stab you in the back. There's a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, especially when you're good. But Sophie just seems like such a girl's girl. I really, really like her. Maybe Caitlin Clark should do the next American Eagle.
So when Sophie wrote Property of Sophie Cunningham, it didn't come off as petty. It felt earned. Fever fans loved it because it wasn't just about one bumper shove. It was about an entire season of cheap shots finally getting an answer. It was a teammate saying, "Our star isn't out here alone anymore." And she said it with ink, not emojis.
American Eagle campaign or Sophie.
And what do you guys think? Do you guys think this means anything? Like, obviously, when you get a Sophie Cunningham signed a Jace Sheldon card, like, I think we should see that more in sports. Like,
Dominoes fell perfectly. The autograph turned into a meme. Fever fans claimed it as part of team lore. Clark's massive fan base saved it to their phones, and even neutrals, tired of seeing Clark take constant hits, shared it around. Then the bigger story took shape. J.C. Sheldon's young WNBA career, drafted by Dallas, redirected to Connecticut, then moved to Washington, already had some bumps. But now her biggest headline wasn't a breakout game or defensive showcase. It was this: the guard who took a shot at Caitlin and the guard who got claimed by Sophie Cunningham.
This is hilarious. It really is. Indiana Fever star takes humorous jab at Caitlin Clark villain. You got to love an Iowa Hawkeyes wire headline. That's really good. That's J.C. Sheldon. Congratulations. That's all you're known as. The chick that was mean to Caitlin Clark. That's your legacy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you've been traded, and I don't think you're much of a basketball player.
When that clip hit social media, the cheer from Fever Nation was loud and clear. It wasn't just about the joke. It was about what? It stood for team identity and teammate accountability. A line drawn in the sand saying, "You don't get to build your name by taking shots at ours." That's good basketball and good business. It gives the locker room something to rally behind, the fans a story to tell, and opponents a reason to think twice before targeting Caitlin for attention, and that's why Sophie has become, without question, the second most beloved Fever player after Caitlin herself. She's got edge without ego, swagger without nonsense, and the production to back it up. She'll hit the deep three, take the charge, flash a grin, and then sign a Rivals rookie card with a mic drop. That's not just personality. That's a brand. That's a role. That's a teammate.
Sheldon, who was selected number 5 overall in the 2024 WNBA draft by the Dallas Wings, following 5 seasons at Ohio State, has quickly established herself a very negative opinion for both Hawkeye and Fever fans after her June 17 flagrant one on Clark and her eventually uncalled for knee to the right groin area during the July 15 clash in Boston as a member of the Connecticut Sun. By the way, can you stay with the team? You got selected by Dallas. You're already on your 3rd squad in 18 months. God.
Let's be real. Sophie vs. JC wouldn't even be a story if the league had done its job protecting its biggest draw, the way every other pro league shields its stars. But it didn't, and that's why the autograph became a headline. From Carter's blindside hit to DeJesus's hip check, Mabry's shove after the whistle, and Sheldon's accidental contact, the pattern said more than any press conference could. Too often, refs looked away. The fines landed on the wrong players. And opposing guards figured out there was clout to be gained by poking the bear.
I just think, and you know way better than me,
Yeah.
but like, it just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of
They are, but I
rookies.
just hate that because, like, this is what we've always wanted as a league. So, like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally making money from the viewership.
And why bully the person who is, like, not 100% responsible, but, like, has a huge role in growing your sport?
Dude, and it literally, like, pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Fever fans, the JCS Sheldon moment hit differently. This isn't a seasoned veteran. It's a young role player whose WNBA resume is barely a year old. Yet she's already drawing more attention for cheap fouls than for actual production. Drafted 5th overall by Dallas in 2024, Sheldon didn't even finish her rookie season before being traded. And now, instead of headlines for defense or scoring, she's making them for taking shots at Caitlin Clark. That's not the path to respect in this league. Sophie Cunningham saw it for what it was and made sure Sheldon's tough act got a reality check.